A supreme rising to all spiritual gangsters. Thank you so much for coming here. I thought before we close the Nebt-Het season, this was important to also share. Maybe you might get nuggets. Please show Gogi some love as she's sharing the nuggets that she knows about her principle of Nebt-Het. And we are closing and entering our Heru season tomorrow. Enjoy.
If a crystal breaks or it gets lost, then it means that it has served its purpose, you know. And I think for me, the Nebt-Het season, since really, Mosirelletsi, Mvikelikazi, I think it's just been a season for me, a whole lot of recognition of patterns, because it also came through a retrograde, you know, and I'm like, my God, I've actually been looping in this same thing with different years, but in different with different people, but I'm still seeing these patterns, you know. So I'm like, okay, maybe this stone did help. It served its purpose, and then now it's gone. But yeah, Gogo, you can do the alignment things. I'll expand where I can, if you remember top of your head.
Okay, no, actually, I have nodes now this time around. Yeah. So yeah, I can do that. The things that align or associate us with Nebt-Het, right? Yes. So the month would be the month of December, that she governs the month of December. But also, just to make it clear, we're not really working on the months the way we know them. Yeah. So in this case, she would start, her season would start on the 23rd of December until the 23rd of January. Right? And then the crystal, the stone that would align us with her, is alabaster, and the color is blue.
Right. Oh, I paint you in blue today.
In silver, yes. So how I would use silver is, there's this now just me, guys. Also, before we start, my experience, not written on stone. Everybody will associate with the seasons the way, but to bahai personally, but in bahai bamu guidang kating. So one of the scepters, the silver scepters. That's what I would put more altanyaga or pasha. I would have that also. Yes. And then the incense, I've been actually meaning to talk to you about the incenses and the whatnot. The incense, the scent, the tree, those, we are limited this side. Hey, I need help.
I'm sure I could have shipped for you actually, and you were here in December, because Lily of the Valley is quite a common incense to get. Yeah, but I need to go northwest.
Mona utlo kreya ke a bua man ke ba tshabe mas.
Yeah, so the incense,
you know, this otherwise they ring money what, you know, those.
Oh, yeah, also.
Yeah. Those ones, how to create cinnamon, cinnamon.
No way. So the herbal shops for such things. Yeah, but with the lily of the valley, for me, maybe you can expand on that. So the lily of the valley, that's the incense thing, and then the scent. The lotus. Pardon?
Yeah, the lotus.
Okay, the lotus, yes. So what I discovered, the lotus plant itself. So with that one, what we did, there's online shops there where you can order it, because it's actually quite, you know, these plants that are controlled and stuff. The plants that control you and get the rulers of the world. But anyway, yeah. So because it is sort of a psychedelic, Lotus, it is quite of a psychedelic, so it is quite pricey. So, but I will share. I think I'll share where you can get a lotus flower, lotus plant for that. So with the lily of the waves as well, it also links back to principle ya gago, where now it also links to the story you were sharing, like how Nebt-Het fits in the creation story, you know, and the Nile River itself. So maybe you can expand on that, or maybe share the story before we are deeper into anything of who Nebt-Het is. And I think the last thing was the willow tree, ne? And the animals. I saw you covered the animals so beautifully on one of the things that you did. Yeah, Vulture, the dolphin, and what is the other one? Yes. Yeah, so maybe you can take us through that for those who missed it.
Oh, okay. The animals. Are you?
Yeah, the animals, and then maybe you can go to the story, the way she fits in the story. I liked what you enlightened me to on that one.
Oh, okay. Let us actually start with the animals, right?
Okay.
Yes. So the animals that would associate you guys, don't go getting a tortoise. You're not gonna. Don't go getting a tortoise, but these are just the characteristics to point you to some of the characteristics that you can like closely that will associate you with the deity Nebt-Het, right? Like the vulture. I don't know why the vulture kastwana ke lenong ne. So yes.
I've heard that in a rap song actually.
Yes. So the vulture kastwana ke lenong, and that is the bird that you see whenever we know around these parts. So whenever you would see vulture circle, you already know there's a process of death and rebirth that's about to happen. You understand?
Yeah.
It is Gastwana bare like it I keep talking but it directs it okay, sharp. Let me give you a story a little bit. So it's the protector of the soul. You understand? The protector of the soul. Either I circular soul is to put to ikuba other things. You understand? For horlone whether if the life can still be preserved. You understand? Yes. If life cannot be preserved, it is going to now feed on the mostopong, on the corpse. You understand? As to now retransfer the soul elsewhere. You understand? So
this is a very interesting thing that you're mentioning here now, because vele principle ya lona is it associates death, rebirth, and then you said something earlier on. I'm trying to think of our earlier conversation when you're speaking about a transitioning. Oh yes, transitioning from. Oh, lovely. Okay, it makes sense. I'm also now thinking of like I wonder the direction that it flows around the animal or whatever it is that's about to be carcass.
I just see it in circles, so I don't really know the direction that would one. So yes, and then now the tortoise, everybody gets it for protection. It's in the shell. It's in how it's you understand? Yeah. It's in the shell. It's a protective animal, but don't go getting a tortoise. Also, everything is duality, guys. Don't go getting a tortoise. We play it will protect that, because in Italy the characteristics studying with Ione, it's quite slow. It might just slow your stuff down.
Oh Lord.
You understand?
Yeah. I think another, the dangers of social media. You get this, you get that, because I've seen it in other people's yards, either Tortoise or Ing. I've seen it in their yards, and then they'd say, no, it brings in money or whatever it is. So imagine if it brings that energy where they go slow now.
I get it also, exactly. Yeah, got the energy. Yeah, lapeng also. Sometimes just like not everybody uses mpep. Not everybody should get a tortoise. Yeah. It's just so you can refer to it.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
the characteristics.
I think another one that would speak on the tortoise. I like the fact that because it's got its own house, like everything that it needs, it's basically within itself, which denotes now, because principally how it comes just before the ascension principle, and how it speaks to, like, you don't need, like, the universe as within, so without. So the universe that the outside things that you're actually seeking are actually within you. So I like that a part of the animal there.
Also, it's there's in the Kimon Patlong or Mospilin, but there's Mobaring, you whose form is hidden. Like as soon as you touch a tortoise and it senses a sense of not so much of a safety, it goes back, it hides. Understand? So yes, and then the dolphin. Yes. On the dolphin, I mean, I haven't really gotten that deep into the dolphin because also I came coasting.
Yeah, but I think itself as well, because it is an ancient. You frozen, Gogi? Are you still within? The dolphin itself, I think, in relation to a principle, that would denote to the intelligence, because remember, we from the season Jehuti wa rona.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think of that, but I don't wanna, thumbs up. Understand? Because I haven't really,
Yeah, but I think, so those are things that line down the season, right? So I think maybe if you can take us through that lovely story, I like who Nebt-Het is and how she fits in the creation story.
Yes. As for the creation story, I feel like everybody who ever speaks about the creation story is just always want to cut it somewhere, But let's can I give a brief overview of the creation story itself, right? So yes. So okay. So the creation story, the African creation story now, right? Like we would take it in let's take it in 4 parts. We would say it has, or let me call them phases, like 4 phases of creation, where the first phase is, there's nothing but, yes, it's just the darkness. It's a world of water. It's just the horizon of water, and then the creator in that phase, Noon, would create by just using utterance. This reminds me
just
of
the Tahuti part of it.
Yes, like they create the. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the nuggets from just because I tell a story like that, eh? So I'm gonna be making some comparison to that book. You understand? So yes, so she'd Noon. Let me, would use creative utterance to just create, like, let there be light.
Yeah.
Yes. And then that would be where the second phase of creation comes through, where now there's a luminous horizon emerging from that water, from the primordial waters now, right? And then in that phase, there would be now as I'm speaking, right? But please remind me at a later stage. You were asked a question on the other podcast as to how the sun connects with the masculine energy.
Yes.
Right. I'd like to try and paint a picture on that, right? But at a later stage, right? So
I'll remind you.
yes. So there would be Ta in that luminous horizon now, who would so in every phase there's a family of gods that govern that phase of creation or that world of creation, right? So in this family, the head, I'll say the head, right? The head of that is of that family, of that creative family, is Ta, who now would form life through thought. You understand? And then there's another family, and then now is Triad, whose head is Num, and would take now that thought and manifest it, and then form the world as we know it. And that would be now this horizon, the horizon of the spirits. I mean, spirits being me, you, the tree next door, the cat on the tree.
Yes, basically.
You understand? And that would be now the third phase of creation. This is where now Utlobona Nebt-Het come through in this phase of creation, right? Where there are also families of gods in this particular one, because we are redriver to focus on Nebt-Het. So in this particular one, there'd be the Ennead, the Heliopolis Ennead. The family is a
Ennead means 9, correct?
Yes. It basically just means a family of 9 gods that govern the process of physical manifestation, right? Yes. So in that family of 9, I don't know whether to do the okay, in that family of 9.
Yeah, go straight to Nebt-Het.
Let's go to Nebt-Het. So Nebt-Het would be a.
You can go who birthed Nebt-Het from the creation story. I get it moves from the waters. Is it water, then air, then
it's water, then fire, then earth.
Then earth and then air, hey. And it's cyclical, this whole creation thing.
Yes. The fourth phase would now be where the cycle completes and restarts and all of that. But right now, a remote phase where Nebt-Het is, right? So, Nebt-Het, Gogi, let me connect her. Let me connect her. In the family of 9, in the family of 9, there's now the head who's Atum, right? Who the story, the legends say he creates by either spitting or ejaculating and forming his descendants, his divine descendants, and Nebt-Het would be part of the now 8 Anglibon. Understand? Now, in these
FYI, Atum is what the plagiarized books would refer to Adam, and in science, what we would call the atom. And if you read books, in conscious spaces, there's a book, Black Roots Science, where they unpack life inside the atom. Is an atom a universe? Is there a universe within the atom? So I think that's an interesting read for people, especially who ask which books to read. So I think that's another book just to get an understanding as a melanated people. Sorry, Gogi, for interrupting you. So I do.
So yes, and then there'll be 8. These people are siblings / consort. Consort would mean now they are married, as to aligning. The way their functions aligned in the functions that they perform in creation align, right, and merge, right? So now Nebt-Het would be the consort, Yasit, right? Yes. Yes. So. No, I'm trying to fine ke mo connecta from ko kae, but let me start here. Let me start where now I get a remote third face le thing, and now there's you know what?
Go never skogi.
Especially when we are quiet.
I'm listening. It's your speaking platform today.
No, let me do this. Okay,
But
so
yeah, I can connect it here from.
Let me connect her from the top, right?
Okay, cool.
Fine. So there'll be Tefnut Lishu, ne, who are married according to the aligning of. So Tefnut would be the principle that governs the waters, and then Shu would be the air. You understand? And then there'd be Nut and Geb. So Nut would be the sky, and then, and then Geb would be the earth, right? And then there'd be Asa and Osed. So Asa would be the renewal god, the god that governs that, the renewal. And then Osed would be a fruition, bringing everything that's been renewed into fruition now. And then there'll be Nebt-Het and Set. So Set, Nebt-Het would be the principle, secretion. So, and then Set would be fixation, right? So I want us to focus on the definition of fixation, where it's just the process of fixing, and not, the other one is, so secretion would be where you produce now and provide. Like Nebt-Het would now produce whatever's needed for Set to be able to go and fix whatever needs to be fixed, right?
Yes. I'm coming with you.
Yes. So yeah. Yes. So now, here is that story. There's this story. These people are here. Asa is on the throne. Everybody. Asa and Aset are reigning supreme. They're governing according to Ma'at being order, balance, and structure, right? And then everybody's got a role, right? And now, everybody's got a role, right? And now, I haven't.
Excuse me, I'm hearing the echo. I'm gonna read.
Kasiaka on the liking of the live. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You never ask guys, but thank you for liking the live so much. Thank you. Okay, all right. Okay.
I'm within now.
So Nebt-Het would be now always Nebt-Het, let's start with the let's try and break it down. And so Nebt-Het in a word just means lady of the house, right? Head.
That's right.
Is and Nebt-Het, lady of the house, right? So she's always depicted as a loyal guardian and a loyal companion, right? So basically, her roles would be to maintain and sustain order, structure, and balance, right? And to meanwhile making sure that everybody is well nourished, well taken care of, well fed, well clothed. Everybody in the house is properly nourished, right? And also, she's the gifter of the young. So basically, that's making sure that everybody knows and takes their role. Understands their role. Like, okay, you will man the gardening. That would be now the gift. You understand? You will man the cleaning. That would be now the gift. She's the gift. Healing. You understand? So yes, she is that person. That is her role. So now it gets tricky when the scales tip when Set actually cast an egotistical eye to the role that's not his. Now envy and ego gets in the way, and now he wants a role that is not his and is Asa's of overseeing, of ruling and governing and overseeing that Ma'at is maintained, order, balance, structure is maintained, and now he wants that role. And then him being the god of chaos that he is, he's like, you know what? I'm taking that role, come hell or high waters, come rain or sunshine. And then he kills his brother. Yeah, well. Yeah, he kills his brother, and hey, Konjo, you gotta be doing more. Hey, the restrictions of the words we can use on this app. Yes, we will use unalive. He unalives his brother, right? And then Umutwala Moboxo, right? But now, stroke one, he's unsuccessful. Asa is back in life, is alive again and back on the throne, and Ma'at still carries on. And then he says, he's like, okay, I didn't, that one didn't work. What am I going to do now? He's like, okay, I am going to now unalive this person, cut him into pieces and scatter him around, right? And then sharp, he does just that. And now that's when we see Osset, who is now the consort of Asa, and Nebt-Het, who is the consort of Set, going on a search for their brother Asa and Osset's consort, going there and searching for him piece by piece, getting him together, and then Bamu Kopanye. Bamu Kopanya saw the pieces, the legends say the pieces were 14. It is then, but Bamu Kopanya saw he wa short that I money basically. Wa short that I money. There's a part that's missing. I'm create the 14th part. Are you there, Gogi? Unmute and say yes, and then I'll carry on.
I'm here.
Okay, so there's a part that's missing, and this part is where now the normal secretion of the seed would come from. You understand? That part that would give the seed for life to happen. You understand? So this is where now we need Nebt-Het with her principle of secretion to secrete that seed, and now we make sure that Osset is pregnant, and then we create that life. There's life, because there's.
And this is where the working immaculate conception story would come from, the stolen story, correct?
Yes. That's that whole Vision Mary stuff, but
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, so now Osset is pregnant with Asa's seed, and okay, we fast forward 9 months, there's a baby. Now, because Set doesn't rest, I get now chaos are reigning supreme. Now it's Set Pela on the throne, chaos is reigning supreme. He knows until Ma'at is restored, until order is restored, Nebt-Het and Osset are not going to rest. You understand? But what now happens, and they know that he knows too. So what happens is Nebt-Het takes Heru, baby Heru, right, and raises him in they say a secret forest somewhere, and raises him in secret. You understand? Being in now her nurturing role, her nurtures him, wamuhodisa, until he comes of age. But I get it, we didn't just make sure Heru is there for fun. We need to restore balance. We need to restore structure, and for that, it's not going to, that freedom is not free, and it's not just going to happen. There's gonna have to be war. There's gonna have to be war for there to be peace. Now that's where Nebt-Het comes in as Mosirelletsi of both Ma'at order and structure, and the person that needs to take
The throne.
the throne. So she now puts him through the necessary training that, in my case, I would call it military training.
But it's a Gogi.
You understand? So
another thing, Gogi, I think we forgot to mention. So for those maybe who are alive when the Lion King was made, the creation story, that'd be like a nice place to start to understand what you are sharing with us here.
you understand? And then now that's when that's what happens. Puts Harry through that training so that Harry can come and battle his uncle. Yeah, the Lion King, battle his uncle for the throne, so that structure and balance is restored, order is restored, right? The first battle doesn't go Harry's way. I get it. Plus, come on. This guy is a trickster, guys. We are very far, like a ego fella. So I tell him, this is me. You understand? And it didn't go. It didn't go his way. Only I lose a little, you know. Yeah, but we'll touch into that the hero's eye some other day.
I'm actually gonna cover the creation story next week, but I'm not sure it's about editing. But yeah, we'll be on that other podcast. We're gonna do the creation story on that one.
So goes back into the training, comes back, and now takes the throne. Order, structure, balance restores. And yes, that is who Nebt-Het is in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm. And for our Nguni speakers, Nebt-Het ki Mvikelikazi, right? And ka our Sotho languages ki Mosirelletsi. So that basically also the one thing about Nebt-Het, she's also the protector in the afterlife, you know. And in other pictures, Batlomi depict her with sort of headgear and a lighthouse, you know. And when now what military the importance of a lighthouse itself.
Just that. It's a gut post. Masola think you need to one more. Yes. It's a gut post. You need to be there watching.
Yeah. And I think the one thing you didn't expand on game, how she was also, or maybe it happened when I was disconnected there, but you said she was a loyal companion to Mudimumme, to Oseit, right? So they go on a quest together as well. Hase motwacho said ase amotlatla moloti. So they go on a quest, and is the one that comforts and is crying with Oseit, so Mudimumme, or those who are familiar with Greek mythology, Isis, where now they're mourning for Asa, which is now going to be the period that we enter March. I think it happens. I don't know how they align it to the Gregorian calendar, but that whole when we're going into hibernation, that's when now Asa Setsevele is gone, right? And we are so Nebt-Het actually assists Oseit also in the mourning process. They also assist Oseit in collecting the parts that set. I think you did touch on that one. Who collector the pasta set, and because Oseit is the magic keeper, again, also wearing the magic words, you know. And I can't wait until we also get into the season. Yeah, Oseit, you know, how. Not even in ancient times, but Luena, your own mother has your own name for you, you know. So Oseit was given the magic words to say, but the principle that comes just before your principle by Ujehuti, you know, the invocations that she was making there so that Asa can come to life again. But in that process, if Asa Nebt-Het, you know, so they always, so in other text, they would also depict them as twins. That's how close they were, you know. And you're avoiding my other favorite part of the story, Gogi. Gore. Ngwana wa Nebt-Het ke mang? Papa ga ngwana ke mang?
Okay, oh, hey, guys, there needed to be a watcher in the afterlife. Right? There needed to be that person that will guide you through the afterlife.
Yeah.
Right? That's when now Ampu comes in, the god, the god, right? Uthi wakabani, hey, ngwana witsi ke mmagwe.
Yeah, because she's a Nebt-Het, so she doesn't want to share that part of the story. But in the story itself, Nebt-Het actually apparently has an affair with Asa, right? Or Asa seduces Nebt-Het. Lapho. And because Nebt-Het ke motho wa set, you know, and I think anybody, if your toes are stepped on, you know, that is apparently the reason why Seth went after Asa, you know, not necessarily for the throne itself, but because you're stepping on my toes. And from that union,
I'm gonna cut you to pieces.
So from that union, it births Anpu, what Greek mythology would call Anubis, ne? Yes, and yeah, I don't know if you wanna expand on that, but for a family sake keeping, we say Anpu is the offspring from Set le Nebt-Het. Mara sentle sentle. Period. Yeah.
So yes, also yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Let's just now speak. Allow me to speak from an avatar, Nebt-Het. Yes. Point, right?
Oh wait, and also PS, Gogi. PS, can I add a little disclaimer? These are not actual people. We're not starting a religion or a cult or whatever it is, but this is basically to help us understand the forces of nature, I would say the true God, because we can't debate Hore, there's no sun. Yes, there's weather manipulation and all of that, but we cannot debate that there's no sun. We can't debate that there's no moon. Maybe others do want to debate that, but this is just helping to understand the seasons, how they occur, you know, the movement of the sun itself. So mythology is not to be taken literally, but just to help us understand, especially because Rebatu who think in pictures, you know. So goes up.
Now, but let me speak from an avatar, Nebt-Het. And at this point, I'm not even speaking as a benevolent Nebt-Het. I'm just speaking as a Nebt-Het who is, I mean, a little too self-righteous to go having affairs. Come on now.
Know yourself, Gogi. That's right.
You understand? I mean, if you are going to be egotistical and do the lot, I mean, let's now go to the function, right? Yes. Now the function would be now sustenance, right? Yeah, Nebt-Het, which will come with the nurturing, the all of that. So if I'm going to secrete this, produce it, and still be the one to sustain it, right? And then when now with your ego you come and you corrupt everything, are you not kind of working against me here? Are you not supposed to be aligning? You know, I feel like relationship, yes, certainly Nebt-Het is the most complicated one. So you don't know at which part.
I think for some reason, Nebt-Het na zamaho to set to elevate, you know, to a more benevolent state. Baby, relax, you know. But because of the ego that you're mentioning here, Kimo has said, but I get where you're going. If I'm the one who's keeping and sustaining this thing, I can also self-impregnate, right?
You know what? If I tell you this is your son, why not just go with it? Why not just go with it? Oh yeah, but hey,
I'm even
yeah.
thinking, alchemy, why is it? No, man. If I'm storing this thing and now we want we want life to continue because now this person of mine, o batla go destroy your life, o batla go destroy the functioning of my art. And in ancient Kemet, vele, my art was held very high in high regard, And no, I hear you, Gogi. I hear where you're going with this one.
We're not are nyenyefatse the what is this? The functioning higher corruption, because in his benevolent state he only corrupts you. Let me make a scenario. I'm just gonna use let's say sharp okay, yeah, I think this would be a nice analogy. Nebt-Het, or she's the gifter of the young.
Yes.
She makes sure that the young gets their gifts. All right, so she gives you your gift, but you know that you have your gift. You know that you are powerful and stuff, right? But you don't know the purpose of this gift as to you can't differentiate as to how to heal or how to destroy, what it does. You don't know what it does, this gift. You just know that you have it and it's powerful and it's nice and you can do whatever you want with it, right? Now, it set in his benevolent state would come and put you right back in by utlotla I want a gift ya how I want the beauty of it, I want the power of it, I tlapa ka corruption mole le mole re wena bona o ka etsa so le so. You understand? If you are not 10 toes down on order and structure and balance, if you're not 10 toes down on my art, and then you decide for okay, I'm going to go with the corruption, I'm going to listen to what Seth has to say, and then you understand? And then it's the very same set who's going to chaos as consequences, as effect. You understand?
Yeah.
Is that very chaos or nani ko bontsha fela ne ke sa rietse you go once it can work that way. Mara when you do that, this is what you get. And then when I sell photo yo hey got like a fag, and then you're going to get back
While you're on that, Gogi, maybe also Seth is a bit misunderstood, Maybe Seth intentionally, he's not just destroying for the sake of destroying, but because, like I'm saying, Hore, in ancient Kemet, the principle of ma'at, law, order, and balance, and righteousness was held in so high regard. So everything that is anti-ma'at, that's when the principle Yaset would come now. Okay, where now you are anti this thing, structure more, structure, and then to destroy in order to rebuild anew. I hear you going.
So yes. So basically, yes, that is Nebt-Het, and
that's a very comprehensive cover. Yeah, Nebt-Het. Every time I'm speaking to you, principal I think you just unravel a whole lot of new things, and for that, galebocha so much, Kogi. This was really fun. So I think, Loena, you need to get the ink that I have. Yeah, know thyself and to thyself be true.
I have been. Kamo, the uncle just an ab. Kamo, they've always been here.
Yeah, but yeah, Kalebocha Gogi for sharing so much. Can you record? You can save the live, right? Yeah, because I'm also gonna have another lesson. I just did an intro lesson, an intro knowledge sharing session. Nebt-Het, but I'd wanna go a bit more on that. With the stuff that you also shared with, especially and I hope I had too much, because the danger with us, because we always speaking from a point of knowing, we assuming people should know so but yeah, I think if you're down, let's do these often. Here and there, and just be able to bring it back a little bit so that it's understandable. It's like when my comrade habali together, there's a certain way where we would speak as the comrade, and then if you're not a comrade, you don't get it, But I hope it wasn't too confusing, But yeah, like I said, I will be covering the African creation story. Go podcasting Queen Ole Omo. I don't know if I allowed to mention people. Hey, we can get all these strikes more TikTok, so I don't wanna trigger things. But no, Gogi ke leboga so much for your time. I don't have any questions, but I think for those joining late, maybe you can share the stuff that aligns us later season, because we still have about 10, 13 more days. How many? 12 more days to go of the season. Yeah.
12 more days to go. So the things that would align us. So Nebt-Het would govern the month, December, from the 23rd of December to the 23rd of January. Now, the stone it will associate or align you with the energy.
I'm counting down for you, Neddy 8. I'm counting down for you. So we did 1, the stone 2 years.
That's Alabaster, right? That is the, I don't know, Gana Grea Pebbliana, tough, why pokotela bracelet or that, why bear on your altar, how pasha to align with the season. And now the color would be blue. The color that aligns you with the season would be blue. Now the metal would be silver. As I said in the beginning, I use a tobani, that's silver, to pasha and put it on my altar, right?
Yeah.
But
sorry on that, but we sort of forgot to letter you earlier on. But you'd notice also I'll call them the water benders, but if you're familiar with the churches, the parang, the white dukes, and the churches of the waters, so they'd usually use Leona Tobani, whether it would have a moon or a cross or a engi, because also I don't know though if they know that silver is actually a protective element. It wards off negative energies around that. So yeah.
So yes, basically when I started using that, it was I wasn't even familiar with the principle at the time. It was as a waterbender actually.
Maybe it's genetic memory. So I feel and I hope that everybody melanated like you understand the power that you have just from the carbon that is bonding inside of you, So some things you just know them naturally, whether knowledge in your DNA or any, but it still counts as, because sometimes we do things we don't even know why we do things, Even with this calendar here, you notice a lot of things that we do as botaki. We realigned, mara realigned kind of situation, Yeah.
So the incense, yes, that would be the lily of the valley. Mm-hmm. Yes, and then the scent can. When I do find it, because I young but I use the oil, the Lotus oil.
Yeah. Must be expensive too.
Yeah, so I use the Lotus oil when I find it, because I get gray easy.
Yeah.
So you can also
the gatekeeper, but gatekeeping dilo tsa rona ba gaetsho.
And then the willow tree, I also wanted to say they actually sell dried bark, the willow tree. So you can also use that as an incense.
Absolutely.
Now the animals would be the vulture, the tortoise, and the dolphin.
Mm-hmm. Dolphin gave this one.
I think good. Healing ke batla. Yeah, when I was rewriting that other book into Swat.
Oh yeah. You see, your principal has just been following you and surrounding you. Nje ose aware. But yeah, those are the things that align us with the principle of Nebt-Het. And I think one thing that we also didn't touch on, which was the last time I saw you actually, when you're speaking of sustenance, I want to just touch a little bit before we end the live. But there's a phenomenon called the summer solstice, where summer actually begins. So this process happens from the 21 up until the 23, which is basically the hottest day down here in the southern hemisphere. Kiboniko on Facebook, there's some girl, I think she lives in the northern hemisphere, and she was like, what do you mean it's summer? So it is summer for us, and because the knowledge here actually comes from the southern hemisphere, but because as a people, you know, and so they took our knowledge and then transferred it to work for them, based for them, you know. So ka 21 December, that's actually when the summer season because now the sun moves, it's at its hottest point, and I think it reaches its hottest point ka 23 ne Nebt-Het, but there's that movement, slow steady movement between the 21 up until the 23, and but the how it's celebrated, there is a ceremony called the ceremony of the Lotus. And Skakechilo, when we started the live, that a lotus is used a lot as a psychedelic medicine. So psychedelics. So yeah, so I'm looking more and more into that, you know. And the one thing we also didn't mention, Gogi, you know the hours ceremony that's done the New Year, when all principles are mentioned.
The way we used to.
Yes, what offerings that Nebt-Het are, but I think there's beer, ne? Is there beer?
Yeah, white. It's independent. I get it, the nurse.
Oh, she's the nurse. Yes, the nurturer. Yes. Absolutely, Kogi. Absolutely. No, but yeah, Kogi, I have to drop off. So I don't know if you want to continue with your people. Marki kupong sevela live ena for the benefit of my people too.
Yes, and Miss K just decided, you know, some of my in G, but it's fine. Next time, next time,
for me, Kogi, I'm gonna put it on my channel on my space. It's Stoned Queer on YouTube. Mohabo TikTok. Kanakina Mangogi. Organic Hottie, right? Or my Stoned Queer. Okay, one of the two. Stoned Q, yes. Yes, but yeah, I think if you search Organic Hottie, you should find me as well. Yes. But yeah, Gogi, I have to drop off. This was fun. I think we should do this on Saturdays. But I'd want you, there's something else I'm starting anew. So I think I'd want you to also pitch in a lot. Hi, Miss K, Mara. Ofisa se re tsamaya.
Thank you for liking the live.
But thank you, Gogi. Anka and my ads, African peace to you.
You African peace, Uncle Justin.
Uncle Justin.